anything?
Yeah, yo. How you doing, Pavlov?
Yo, bruv.
What's happening?
Going,
all right,
man?
all right. Yeah.
Dude.
You still writing poetry, huh?
Yeah, boy, that's it.
My man here. I got my man Mustafa here, who's the only person who basically doesn't go to sleep when I read my poems. Again, gotta repeat the same joke.
Yeah, it's fine.
The same unfunny joke. Anyway, this poem I called it Love and Fury. It speaks. You know, I wrote the first two parts of this poem and I didn't know what else to write. Then I researched and I discovered about the 8 different kinds of love according to the ancient Greeks.
Okay.
And I just got almost the whole poem here. So it's longer than the other ones.
Yeah, hit me, man. Let's see what this is about.
It goes like this. Dear you, my one and only, the being I can't see through, your gaze will never leave me lonely. Perhaps it would be wise to say how much I despise.
Okay.
So this first part is, dear you, my one and only, the being I can't see through. It's a being that isn't transparent.
Yeah.
You know, it might sound contradictory, but a being who has some lies to the being, who has something to hide, who can lie, who can deceive, is actually a being that exists. A being you can't see through is a being that almost doesn't exist, doesn't have a character to oppose the situation he's in.
Yeah,
you can always see through all the emotions that the person has.
And it's interesting is that it's self-directed because one can never understand oneself without an external perspective. So there is that. That's
we'll
interesting.
Come back to that later with one of the different kinds of love.
All right.
Your gaze will never leave me lonely. Another part. You know, this also, now that I think about it, it relates about what you said now. Your gaze will never leave me lonely.
Yeah.
My gaze will never leave me lonely.
Yeah,
so to a certain extent, it also refers to yourself. I didn't even realize that way on that.
No, it's deep. That's when you know you got poetry. There's multiple interpretations of the same thing.
What I originally meant by this, it was something else. It was about you thinking about the person you love, always having the person in your head, and your gaze will never leave you alone. It's as if you have the person beside you.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Perhaps it would be wise to say how much I despise. This is the shock value.
Yeah.
This one means that to love and to hate are much closer to each other than to love and to have no emotion for.
That's true. There is a
much,
certain
much
amount of
closer.
passion in hating someone.
Exactly.
I get you.
Like you have the attraction of hatred. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it when a girl hates me. I'll flip that into love real quick.
Oh yeah. No, you know you're gonna get some with a girl that you hate.
True. But it also has to do with something that we'll speak about in the last part of the poem,
Gotcha.
which I'll come to later.
All right. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Just okay. Go
On
on.
the first part. Though no one else so matters as you to me, my love, I'll spread 1,000 letters like wings of a morning dove.
Okay.
But as my words need weaning, only you will know their meaning. Now, though no one else so matters as you to me, my love, as to one person. Person, I'll spread 1,000 letters like wings of a morning dove. It's I'm referring here to the sort of a bit of a hypocritical sense of loving, that you need to shout to everybody you love this person, when supposedly the only person that matters is that person.
That's true.
So why are you shouting it to everyone? Why does it matter?
What does the declaration have any
Shouldn't that
value?
real, pure love be just you and the other person alone in a church? Just marrying each other without anyone, just living with each other.
I guess. But yeah.
Without even having to say the truth.
No, it's interesting because the romantic notion of love, like we're talking like sort of Baroque, 16th and 17th century, the declarative aspect was important because it means singling out the other person as a potential mate to the public, so that they know that these two belong together. But
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
But it was more a social construct than it is, an actual if you love someone, why do you care what other people think kind of situation? But it has to do with the social dimension.
Yeah.
But no worries.
Yeah, that's an interesting example. I'll spread 1,000 letters like wings of a morning dove.
Yep.
In this case, the wings of a morning dove. A morning dove, is. But either way, this part here is a bit more ominous.
Yeah.
Because when you decide to be with someone, it's like the end of the beginning of the contract. You sign the contract, you're with that person.
Yeah.
It's like the death of the freer you.
Yeah.
And the birth of the you who's shackled, who's enthralled by the person you're with.
Yeah, that's true.
It actually refers to what you said about the contract, the social contract.
Social
of
contract,
love.
absolutely.
Exactly.
And Mourning Dove is it's very interesting that because and even sort of like Byron and all those romantic poets, they would combine an element of sadness in the love itself. Because again, this whole idea of love being a kind of happiness, it's not. Love is hard work and kind of a problem. So the whole sort of the bittersweet.
Not just happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, it's the bitter sweetness. That's the kind of thing that I got it.
Exactly.
So there is the hard part, mourning, but dove, which is a symbol of romanticness.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, gotcha.
If you only have sweetness, you'll want to puke real soon.
Diabetes.
You'll have diabetes. if you only like sweet food, you'll have diabetes.
Yeah.
Stop it here. Teaching people how to live healthy. But as my words need meaning, only you will know their meaning. Meaning here, I didn't know this word. I actually researched it to find something that rhymes with meaning.
Okay.
But it makes sense because I wanted a word that has a similar sense to meaning. As my words need meaning. Meaning means when you are feeding the baby, because the baby doesn't know how to feed itself.
To get accustomed to food.
As my words need explanation, as my words need, me to wean them to others, to explain them to others, to, spoon-feed it to others. Only you will know their meaning. Only you will truly understand what I mean when I'm speaking to you. Sometimes when you have an old friend, you basically almost have a code language that other people barely understand.
100%.
Happens very often.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I agree.
And we'll come to it soon because love isn't only for one woman that you have a sexual attraction.
Yeah.
That's far from it. And that's why the Greeks have 8 different kinds of love. And that one is only one of them.
Yep.
It's the first one, which we're going to come to. Your hair is red like hellish blaze. Your eyes green sparks of a beast's desire. Your shade drives me into a craze. Your tan skin lights mine on fire. Beloved by senses cold with passion. Eros, name that burns till ashen. The first kind of love, eros, the physical attraction.
I like this stanza because of the fiery imagery that you've managed to put in almost every sense. Yeah.
Have that physical attraction.
Yeah, that's
the,
cool.
The red hair, green eyes, like a bestial.
Hellish blaze, Okay.
It's a bit too edgy.
You could have toned it down a little bit, but look, the exaggeration helps. It's just like I get the theme. Before you even describe what the Greek kind of love is, I kind of know what you're talking about. So no, that's a good job.
Do you remember the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You remember the song of the villain, Hellfire?
Yeah.
It's when I got a bit inspired by that. Like
Gotcha.
He speaks about hellfire, about burning things, and he speaks about his passion.
Yeah.
He's going to burn Paris for the woman that he has the passion for.
So interestingly, in Egyptian love song, there's an old singer, Abdul Halim Hafiz, and his song is called Fire. It's like my heart, and the whole thing is like my heart is on fire. I love you, like your love is burning me alive. And okay, it sounds really romantic when he sings it, but the whole
Like
thing
a disease, it burns you
yes,
from
yeah.
fever.
And he was like, well, hubbak no, and not is fire, basically. No, so yeah, it's just like fire. It's like yeah, I get you.
But yeah, the rest. Also, I made the reference for some qualities I like. Yeah, people, some qualities I find physically, in a purely sexual way attractive.
Yeah,
like
your
red
shape.
hair, green eyes, lightly tan skin, or something like that.
Yep.
Your shape drives me into craze. Your tan skin lights mine on fire. Beloved by senses, cold with passion. Arrows named that burns till ashes.
Yeah.
It's an important part because arrows burns out relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
Unless you really have something for that person.
That's true.
It burns you, so it's not a very long-term kind of love.
Yeah.
Friend of mine, you have no color, for mind is our true connection. You are my fellow scholar, may my words bring thee affection. Philia, companion cherished, onward march until he perished. So I made sure to refer that friend of mine, you have no color, because friendship doesn't have a physical quality. when Eros has physical qualities,
Yeah.
at least for me, there are things I prefer in a woman. Friendship doesn't.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's not very physical.
Yeah, yeah.
It might be physical, of course. You might see a beautiful person, you want to befriend that beautiful person.
Yeah, yeah.
But in the end, if the beautiful person has a shit personality you don't like, and there's an ugly person who has a great personality, you'll befriend the ugly.
And you see, like, if you compare it to the first one, it's about the other person's physical features. Whereas over here, like a true friend, your friend can be ugly as fuck.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But he can still
I have
be.
some of those.
Yeah, yeah. So do I. Trust me. It's like dude. If you were a chick, I'd kill you. You know, you're that ugly. But again, friendship is not a physical relationship. I mean, I could say that you and I are friends, but I'm not gonna sleep with you. You know, it's like I'm.
Whoa!
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa, that hurt, man.
I know, man. I know.
No homo, bro. No homo.
Well,
Just kidding, guys,
first
just
of all, your organs are not the kind that I'm interested in, so there is that. But no.
Mutually.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, your friendship is not a physical relationship, whereas your stanza over here was almost completely physical. So yeah, I like the distinction. Yeah.
So for mine is our true connection.
Yeah.
Again, to separate from the physicality. Well,
Yeah.
the first one was very physical, as you said. The second is I wanted to separate as much as possible from
Yep.
the physicality.
No, I
You
like
are
the
my
difference.
fellow-
It's like without you even really having to explain it, I picked it up, and I'm not exactly the smartest one here. So yeah.
Of course you are. You actually are amongst the people who are here.
I appreciate it, but
But either way, you are my fellow scholar. May my words bring thee affection. Philia, companion, cherish. It's funny how they could say pedophilia. Shouldn't they say something like pedomania, like obsession with children? Philia is friendship.
Yeah.
Now, pedophilia doesn't mean friendship with children, as you know.
no, it doesn't.
It's something else.
But-
Something
but-
worse, much worse.
I know what you mean, but
or
again,
pedoeros. I don't know, but it just so happens that the word is pedophilia. I don't know why.
well,
and it ruins the word philia, honestly, because it's a word that means friendship, and pedophilia kind of ruins it. I think
it does.
gives it a bad.
It
bad
does,
meaning.
but it's a bad selection of words. But at the same time, yeah, I get where you're coming from. You know, yeah,
like the swastika and the Buddhist swastika.
yeah. No, because again, you're referring to the original.
Swastika basically ruined the Buddhist swastika.
Pretty
Now
much.
You can't wear a Buddhist swastika.
No, I know, and there's a Japanese comic book called Blade of the Immortal, where the character is wearing a swastika on his back, and everyone is like, "Oh, it's a Nazi." It's like this is set in 16th century Japan. What the fuck are you talking about? How can there be a Nazi in 16th century? It's a Buddhist swastika. But the thing is, like, you're talking about the use of the term versus the actual meaning of the term after reflection and reading. So there's not. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
There's an image that people connect immediately. When the image is very often connected to something,
Yeah.
they will inevitably connect it. You know, like Pavlov's dog, for example.
You probably get that all the time. Yeah.
Philia, companion, cherished, onward marched until he perished.
Yeah.
You know, this is another ominous part that is about philia. Friendship lasts until it can last because it can be very lasting until death.
Yep.
And the companion who marches with you until he dies or until you die. But if you die, it's not like the friendship is ended because you are the one who's dead.
Yep.
And if the other person is alive, that the friendship is ended for that person, and for you,
Yeah. You're dead. Yeah.
So it has to be until he perished, not until we perish.
Yep.
In that sense. I remember what I was. Warm memories like candlelight. Razors deserve all applause. Angels too honest, too kind. Storge of the grey hair. Family is the source of care. Storge is the more familiar one. The bond you have with the people you live with.
Yep.
The people you call as your family. It doesn't have to be necessarily your blood family, as we spoke about before.
Yeah.
But it has to have some kind of a connection.
Could you repeat it again?
I remember what I was.
Yeah.
Warm memories like candlelight.
Okay.
Razors deserve all applause. Angels too honest to kind. Like you will always remember the people who raised you better than what they were.
They actually were. Yeah.
I mean, not always. Sometimes people have very bad raisers, very bad people.
No, it's not better, but an exaggeration of the reality. So sometimes they would remember all the bad deeds of their parents, for example, but or all the good deeds, but never that they
But
were.
you don't want to remember bad people as bad.
Or you might want to remember them as bad. People who are
I mean,
convinced.
you usually try to avoid it, I think.
Well, no, because again, if you think about it this way, so someone can like grow up in an abusive family, but ignore the parts in their history where the family was actually really good to them. So they were not as abusive as the memory makes out. But at the same time, no, there's other people who very much cherish their family and they've seen like only the best treatment, and there were times where the family was abusive, so they're willing to ignore those things. So it works both sides, really. It depends on the story. I think you would call it the story you tell yourself about your history. You know, so yeah, if you want to convince...
I remember what I was.
Yes, that's exactly
What I
the
was.
point.
That's what I am. What I was is what I am. Because
Yeah.
the present is an unexistent line that keeps moving forward.
There's no boundary.
Whenever I say now, it's already part of the past.
Yep, there is no boundary.
There is the past, which is what I am, and there is the prediction. So, angels to honest to kind, Storge of the grey hair, families of the souls of care. Again, I gave a physical representation, the grey hair.
Yeah.
The bond you share with the people who raise you is a bond that feels like, candlelight, the warm candlelight,
Yeah.
and grey hair. It's like part of the past. It's something.
I think I know what you're trying to do.
Kind.
Not just kindness and intimacy. The thing you're trying to do here is, but it's not hitting. There's parts of it because I get it. I remember what I was. That introspection, the warm memories by candlelight. Again, there's closeness and warmth, and the gray hair. It's like when you're sitting next to your grandparents and you notice their hands, and and their hair and
the wrinkles, all that stuff. It's beautiful in its own way.
Yeah, it's a warmth and intimacy, but it's
Puts
kind
you at ease.
Yeah, but it is kind of missing in your script. It is. I get the intention. Or at least that's the intention that I interpret. But I feel there is something missing in there that sort of drills it in. There's some intimate aspect that you need to bring out to the conversation to make you feel close to these people. That's the thing that's missing here. But I understand your intentions. Am I wrong? No.
No, you're right. I felt with this one like it was a bit emptier than the other. I'm not just saying it because you're saying it.
No.
You said it. It actually felt a bit like that.
Yeah.
It felt like this didn't have very heavy kind of symbolism.
Yeah.
The first one, the second one, and this one was a little bit
first-
less specific. But it's also a bit less specific of a kind of love. When you think of love, you don't immediately think about. I mean, you might think about your family, but you will probably think about Eros. That's the first thing that immediately jumps to your head.
Yeah.
Then you might think after that something you're obsessed with, which will come to later. You might think about yourself. You might think about helping others. You might think about family. But family usually isn't the first thing that immediately pops to your head.
That's true.
Maybe that's why it was a little bit, more diluted than others. Very well, let's go for the other one. Let's play a game. Kind or cruel, does it matter? For little Ludus, it's the same. Playful kids do not know better. Oh, dear child, please do behave. Play along, do not enslave. Ludus is the playful love.
Yeah.
Is the it's also linked to Eros a bit, but it's a lot different. It's slightly linked because it's like the playfulness, the jokes, the humor in a relation with a person. You can have Ludus with a friend, you can have Ludus with a person you feel Eros for, you can have Ludus for almost everybody.
So your first stanza felt like lust, but this feels like flirtation.
Flirtation.
Yeah, gotcha.
It's a good definition, yeah. Kind or cruel, does it matter? Because, jokes aren't always nice, aren't always kind.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about it right now, about jokes. What Ralph did to the woman, it was a bad joke, at least to many people.
No, but even that, if you
didn't
think
like it.
if you think about flirtation isn't about just being nice to him. Sometimes you have to you're cool.
You have to risk.
Yeah, you're the second coolest Natalie I know, and there's a little bit of give and take. There's
Yes.
like push and pull.
Yeah, exactly.
Which,
If you keep being nice to the other person, it fills them with this kind of distrust. Why the hell is this guy talking so well about me? Does he have something to gain from me?
But if you sort of push her,
yeah.
hey, what the fuck is his
Stop
problem?
kicking
It's like,
each
oh,
other.
nothing, babe. I just love you.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, exactly. So that there's some of that push and pull mechanic when it comes to the
Hey, you
playful
saw
love.
people, he attacked me. Call the police.
Oh, don't worry. If I attacked him, he's not going to come back for
Oh!
Can you see my T-shirt?
Call the ambulance.
Yeah, no.
Call the ambulance. But either way.
No, but that's cool.
Show you guys.
Look, brother.
Yeah.
I'm reading my poem here, bro.
We're doing a poetry
You wanna hear it
reading.
out?
No, I love his poetry.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
No, I was like, like, what? Oh fuck! I haven't been here. I haven't been here for like
that
5
vodka?
weeks. And then you were like, read my poetry. And I watched it. And it's like, right. So maybe
That's
I
what you were
started-
like.
No.
People fall asleep when I'm reading.
But I was just like, this is meaningful. Right. So like, let's all just be arseholes in this world. Let's all just, of
course.
pretend it
That's
doesn't
what
mean
this place
anything.
is for. You know, you were the one who said it. No, you weren't the one. Banksy was the one.
But what
he
did
was
I
defending
say?
assholes.
What did I say the week after when I read it? It's like, I fucking loved it. I sat there, it's like, this fucking is real. Like when you, it's so fucking difficult for someone to do this when it's just bullshit. Right? It's not bullshit to you, it's not bullshit to anyone
I'm
else.
feeling very offended.
No, but you're not.
I'm
But
not.
to anyone else, it's just bullshit. But when I watched it, I was like, no, this actually means something. And it's like,
Hopefully.
no, it was like the pauses and like
Wait, take a
da, da,
second.
da.
Take a couple more.
And
Of course, it's what. Oof.
no.
That's
this is
strong.
what-
That's strong. That shit.
And
medical grade,
I
baby.
was just like, no, this means fucking something. To fuck you all, man. Like, look, basically, I'll fight anyone, man. I don't give a shit.
Don't do it, man. Peace.
man.
Peace.
Right, so
Peace
when we're talking about like the Muslims who I've hunted them down, they didn't want to have a conversation.
Of course not. Of course not.
But it's fine now, right? It's fine.
Hey, we're having a nice day.
No, it's not fine until they settle what they want us to do with me.
So, are you a Muslim now, or according to them? Do they see
So
you
what's
as a
their
Muslim?
position now?
I couldn't give a shit. Do you want to know what my position is?
Yeah.
Right, shall I tell you what my position is?
Shoot.
Right, number one, I fucking don't know.
It's not an unreasonable position.
I do not know. I have
It's an honest
searched.
position.
I have searched. I have found everything. Like, name me a philosopher. Name me any kind of idea about like psychology. Name me anything. I've done that. I've done that 100 times over.
David Hume?
What?
David Hume?
No. Hume is like bullshit, right?
Why is it bullshit?
Right, like basically, the early Enlightenment philosophers are like so behind us. They're
David
so
Hume is reasonable, man. Come
so fucking behind us.
on. My boy David Hume, you can't talk shit about him.
No.
I get butthurt.
Like I am like, that's where I look first for like basically I look first in like, someone said like Plato, everything, all Western philosophy is like footnotes on Plato. And so all I did is
I don't
look
really
at
agree with Plato that much. Like Platonic.
Ah, no.
The meaning of
I don't
Platonic,
agree
I don't
with
really agree
Plato,
with that much.
but most of it is like, oh fuck, man, you're speaking the truth, man.
Let me read you the poem, and you guys tell me what to do. I'll
alright.
keep reading. I keep
So
reading.
you want to interrupt me while I'm going on my journey?
Okay,
right?
go ahead. Go on.
So
with your journey.
I've done all this shit, man. I've done all of it, and like, it's fucking insane, man. Like, because in my heart of hearts, being British, it's like, yeah, I want to do the British Enlightenment. I want to do the Scottish Enlightenment. And then like, that's just like fucking knowledge after knowledge. But then you're like, oh no, that's bullshit. But then at some point, all of us find some Nietzsche.
I see.
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche, yeah.
And when you
stare
find
into the abyss,
Nietzsche-
you get drunk.
No, when you find Nietzsche, this is the biggest thing about Nietzsche. Is like, what your opinion of Nietzsche was one thing. You were told about Nietzsche, but when you actually read Nietzsche,
Something
it's
else,
like,
yeah.
It's like, man, like,
Whoa, the abyss! Oh.
no, it ain't the fucking
falling.
abyss. He was never about the abyss. He was never about the abyss. He never talked about the abyss. He was never about the abyss.
I think that was Edgar Allan Poe.
he was just like, no,
Yeah,
this
he was
is
all abyss.
no, Nietzsche was never about the abyss.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about Poe, Edgar Allan
no,
Poe.
Poe was fucked up. Man. And then you read Nietzsche, you go, I was told about Nietzsche, and it was like, oh, actually, Nietzsche is just like telling, it's like true. It's like true. All that Nietzsche was doing was telling truth. And you're like, oh,
His own
fuck,
truth.
man. I need to kick some.
Fuck!
I need to kick people in the head. Like, and then you find other people, and it's like, fuck. So what you're basically telling me is like, oh, if you're half intelligent, then we're all on a journey. Then we are all on a journey.
We're all what?
We're all on a journey. You can tell me something. You can tell me something. We all have found a journey in this. And it's like
Even stupid people can find a journey. It's
no, we are all on this.
their own journey.
All right, okay. What does Socrates? What does Socrates? All right.
We're deep into it.
Pav, what does Socrates say about stupid?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember now, bro. Okay,
Come back. I just want to feel something quickly with
You know, let's save it for next week.
let's save it for next week.
We'll have a new, fresh pair of eyes on it. All right.
What happened? Was you halfway through?
Yeah, exactly.
No, continue on.
Okay, thank you.
No, man,
Okay, let's
right.
just finish. Let's just finish. Okay. The next part.
You want to feel something else? I don't know. How long you
It's gonna be a while.
5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, go ahead. Don't worry. We'll do it later. We'll do it later. We'll do it later, bro. We'll do it later. Don't worry. Yeah, no worries.
You catch the controversy, bro. Catch the drama.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. You alright, brother? No space for me. Don't worry about it.
Hey Raj, come let's do it. Where you going? Are you running? Well, you said you was dissing Ralph for running and now you're doing the same thing. At TNT.
I'm tired, man.
Okay.
I'm tired.
What happened there? We're just about to go.
I'm not.
Content over everything.
From your
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Talk about religion, man.
Listen.
Give me the golden word.
Raj, man.
Yes, Raj. I do believe you don't represent and the man with the blue hair. This is not. You are sect inside you.
So I'm gonna talk to you for 5 minutes.